Oh wow. Hello everyone. Welcome to this amazing section. I'm trying to see how I can do a bit of, nice background music. Okay, that doesn't work. Ah, it's been an amazing time. Please can you guys hear me? Can you confirm you can hear me? Awesome. 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 Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for being a part of this today. I'm really excited, pretty excited about what we're going to be doing today. I think we have our speaker already on the backstage. Mr. Samuel, are you set for me to set you up on stage now? I know you're already tired. I can see it all over your face. Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Samuel. Good evening, my brother. How are you doing?
Good evening, great man. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for accepting to be a part of this. Again, I'm really excited to be here with us. This section is supposed to be very short, but it's going to be very strategic, to 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 touch on very critical issues and critical concerns that
Yes.
a lot of people, especially those who desire to be event hosts, yeah, event hosts, people who desire to host events, host webinars. Interestingly, Mr. Samuel is also very interested in this area. I came across some of his content recently, hosting a class also. So I'm sure he's going to also talk about that as well. I think you guys should look out for that as well. It's something that's really going to really help you also. Right. So I think we're going to be having that also. So once again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Welcome once again. We this is a 1 month intensive 4 part section. Right. We're going to be doing this for the next 1 month every Saturday by this time. Right. We're going to be having amazing people who have done this for over 2 decades now, right? They have hosted events for over 2 decades now and actively been a part of event hosting for this number of years. And beyond just hosting events, they know how to crack. They have cracked the code, right? They have sorted this out. They have done it over and over again. They have failed. They have swallowed rejections, and they have succeeded times and again and again. They have done it even from the bottom to the top, and name it, right? And I'm really excited because what these guys are bringing to the table is exceptional, right? And also what I'm bringing to the table is as well exceptional as well, right? And so today we're going to be going right into it. We're not too much gimmicks, not too much you know too much introduction. We're just going to get into it. I'm going to introduce the speaker and then get into the questions. I'm trying to make this a bit snappy. I don't want us to take so much time in this program. I don't want us to take so much time, right? Because I know how busy we are. I know that we don't need to touch on so many areas, right? A lot of you are coming here with questions. A lot of you coming to listen and to learn, on how to do this practically. And one of the things I decided to do going forward is not to bore you, right? I don't want to bore anybody. I want to be able to let our sections answer questions. And when I mean answer questions, let it solve critical issues. Let it be able to, touch the critical concerns in your heart, right? And that's exactly why we designed this section to be like this. So it's going to be a fireside chat. What it means is I'm going to be outlining questions, and our speaker is going to be answering these questions. And these questions are very practical questions, right? Questions that have been, asked multiple times. I held the Africa SME Assembly earlier I think 2 months ago. And after the Africa SME Assembly, I had tons of questions, a lot of questions, right? And even before the assembly, during my last event, I also had questions. Even the event I held early this year, I had questions. And I know the facilitators I'm bringing into this section as well. Most of them who are also in that same position where we have multiple questions. And these questions, I aggregated these questions and I decided that, okay, see, this section, we're going to be answering these questions. And I'm sure that in the midst of this, conversation, when we answer them, we're going to get the right answer for, that concern you have. And I'm sure as well, for those who are still stuck, for those who are still stuck, though you get clarity, you get precision and accuracy from this topic that you have, probably this year or next year, right? So let's get into it, Mr. Samuel. Welcome again once. Thank you so much for being a part of this. So let me do a very short introduction. Mr. Samuel Isiwu is a leadership development expert and a sustainable development strategist who has trained and inspired thousands of emerging leaders across Africa. As the founder of Tycon International and the CEO of Samuel Isiwu Company Limited, he has directly influenced over 35,650 young leaders through leadership education, mentorship, and advocacy. He is also the author of Leading You and has spoken on major platforms and media networks across Nigeria and beyond. Samuel Isiu is a 2024 Diana Award recipient, recognized globally for outstanding social impact. He has also been honored as a Onga social ambassador and featured amongst the 50 young Nigerian leading transformational change agents, right? Across the continent and across Nigeria as well, right? And trust me, beyond this portfolio, if you go, go study a bit of what he's doing, right? Sometimes I wonder if he actually takes some time to rest because almost every time, he has something coming up. He has something he's doing for young people. And it's amazing. It's amazing, right? And today, Samuel Lisu is going to be talking on critical issues on event hosting. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. How are you doing? Let me start with, asking you this first question I love to ask my guest anytime I host. How are you really? How are you doing? How has the journey been so far? How has the experience been like for you, right? Hosting events, doing all of what you've done in the last, decades, right? How has it been like for you? So just give us like a a well, not a summary, but like something that that it only takes that level of it's only someone in your shoe that can actually understand. But I would love you to just give us an overview of how it has been for you and stuff.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful introduction. At some point, I was asking myself if I was the one you were introducing. I mean, that guy is so loaded. Thank you so much. The journey so far, it's been amazing. And I would say that it's been full of challenges. But then, just like we used to teach people as leaders, that, those challenges have just been there to push me forward. My journey has been filled with challenges and risk. I've taken so many risks in my life that sometimes I ask myself, how am I still alive? But then that's what has shaped my ideology, my strength, my mindset, and that's what has powered a lot of my work I do. And one of the critical things that defines my journey is problem solving. You never catch me in a situation where I don't have a solution. Not like I'm trying to say I'm a superman or a superhero, but I always ask questions. I always drive myself to solve problems. And it also, um, you know, It's not only about the work that I do externally, even internally. Just like I used to say to people, that my life has been filled with so much of problem solving that many years ago, while I was in secondary school, in primary school, growing up as a child, talking was a problem for me. My teachers used to flog me so much for talking. I can talk and they'll write my name in the list of noisemakers so much, you know. But then talking was a problem for me. But now, what was wrong with me is now right with me. I used to tell people that they used to flog me for talking before. Now they pay me to talk. And that's because I turned that negativity in my life into a positive solution. And that's what I do every day, turning negative things into positive solutions, turning timid people into confident soldiers, confident people, turning cowards into valiant armies. That's what defines my life and Samuel Isiwu. Um, Basically. So the journey has been great, filled with challenges, so much risk, but I thank God for all that He has done for me. We are scaling unusual heights, and we are getting to where God wants us to be. Thank you so much.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think I lost you a bit. So you were saying something about talking and the fact that that's exactly what you do all day. Maybe you could just pick it up from there again.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, okay, I said you were speaking. I think I lost you at the point. You were sharing, your entire journey. The fact that you talk, and I can relate to that because growing up as well in school, I was the noisemaker of the class.
Oh,
And
yes.
being the noisemaker of the class, it means it came with quite a number of back and front. But then today, it's the same noisemaker that it's the words, the talking, that it's what sometimes I use to. It's a major stream of income now for me, right? So yeah. But then I also want to ask a bit deeper, right? We're here to get into our questions, although I know we'll get into that shortly. But just to kind of ask a little bit deeper. You started off this the idea of impact, and then you hosted your events. You started hosting events in Delta State. I can remember vividly. Some of my first experience with you was at an event in Delta State. I don't think you know me, but we didn't even have any conversation. I didn't even meet you, but I know I had an impression, by that event itself, right? And that was my first time having. I think that was my first event, if not mistaken, because then I was not so, I was not really exposed. I was still young, right? But then, seeing you over the years being consistent, hosting events back to back to back almost every year. Last year you were in Rwanda, right? And if my memory serves me right,
Yes.
and we've been doing this for quite a number of years now, right? How has it been for you, right? What really started this journey for you? Like, why did you choose this path? Why did you wake up one morning and say, see, I want to do this, like, I want to do this, and then, you've been doing it for this number of years, right? I want to know what that thing that keeps you running, what has kept you for this number of years? Really, that's my question, and I would love us to start from that angle.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Um, so there are two things that keeps me going. But then, the reason why I chose this journey and this path, um, first of all, I was just 17 years old when I started to do leadership development. I was just 17 at the time. Yeah. Can you hear me, Mr. Troy? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. You can go ahead.
Oh,
I can
okay.
hear you
Okay. I said I was just 17. And as young as I was,
clearly.
something critical actually catalyzed my passion. Number one
Mm,
is that the transformation I experienced came at the time where, I grew up in Warri. I was born and raised in Warri. So I used to say
Okay.
to people, now I'm sorry to everybody who was born in Warri or who is from Warri. I used to say to people that that place is one of the worst places where you can raise a child because of how oh my God, that environment. I mean, trust me, imagine a child growing up in Warri. You know how Warri is. So at the age of 8, I was influenced by peer pressure. I share the story a lot. One of the things is that my friend influenced me, and we began to see some of our big uncle and big brothers. They will go to bars and they are smoking. Some of us wanted to start to try that out. As I remember at the age of 8, we were trying to go and say, let's do what those brothers they are doing. But you see, something critical happened. My mother came back from a teacher's conference and brought a book titled Gifted Hands by Ben Carson. She said, I bought this for you.
Gifted hands.
Yes, by Ben Carson. She said, I bought this for you. I want you to read it. Because at that time,
I also read
as
gifted
young as
hands.
I was so stubborn. I was so stubborn. In fact, it, it could only take the grace of God at that time in my life. At the age of 8, it took like 1 month before I could open the book. But one day, everybody left the house. I was the only person at home. I opened the book and I started to read the story of Ben Carson as young as I was. I saw how Ben Carson had anger issues. He almost killed his friend. I saw how he was a dullard. And everybody was calling him names. But something happened. Ben Carson went to the library and encountered knowledge. And that knowledge transformed his life. Ben Carson, who was formerly called a dull student, became the envy of his class. So you see, when I saw that story, something shifted inside of me. And that was the beginning of my transformation.
Can you still
So,
hear me, Mr.
eh,
Samuel?
yes, can you hear me?
Okay, so I guess the network is a bit unstable today. So
I can hear you very well. I can hear you.
please can you still hear me, Mr. Samuel?
Yes, I can. Very well.
I don't know if it's from my end, but it seems like I'm struggling to hear you actually. But yeah, and thank you. I think I get
I
I'm trying
can
to
hear
get
you
like
very
the
clearly,
underlining,
but I think, I
there's
guess
a long.
your network is
Oh,
unstable.
okay. Okay, since it's like it seems it's from me. Okay, so go ahead. So just go ahead. I think I'm the one
Can you hear me
having
now?
this network issue. Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I was talking about the fact that when I saw how knowledge and education changed the life of Ben Carson, something shifted inside of me. And you know what? At the time, I began to attend the mentorship school in Warri, a leadership development school, and that's how my life began to change. So, in reflection, I started to think to myself, there are so many other young people who probably would have had this challenge that I experienced. So many of them will be addicted to drugs. So many of them would have um, peer influence by virtue of society and where they grow up. So I decided and I made a resolve in my life that I was going to start solving the same problem that I experienced a transformation and overcame. And that has been the driving force for me to solve the same problem that I experienced as a young boy using knowledge. So, what I wanted to do was to turn people into exceptional leaders. And this has been one of the major driving forces for me. Uh, so, every time I remember that there are young people in rural communities who need intervention, who need educational intervention, who need mentorship, some of them who don't have the privilege of being mentored. I always wake up for my sleep. In fact, I don't even need an alarm clock. That dream, that vision to transform the lives of such people wakes me up. It keeps me awake. That's one of the things that drives me. Secondly, all through my journey, I have seen people who have come to me to say, you know what, Mr. Samuel, I listened to you speak some few years ago and my life changed. I listened to you speak in my school. For example, there's a young student of mine who I encountered in 2017. I went to their school where I was doing a school tour, and I spoke to them. But that particular young student, she took everything I said so seriously. And until up to today, she still has to reference 2017. She's currently a graduate from the university, but she keeps on saying that that particular meeting changed her life. And when I remember all of the people who come to me to say your your life has been a blessing to me, it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me happy, standing, and ready to give my best every single time. So these two things have been the game changer for me. This is the reason why I wake up every day. There's a project I run in the IDP camp. I went to the IDP camp and I saw that so many of the young children there need intervention. Some of them they've been marginalized. Some of them they are traumatized because they were displaced by violence. Some of them saw experienced violence real time. They saw bandits kill their parents, so they're traumatized. I saw those children. They needed help. They needed education. They needed to think. They needed dreams. When I remember such people, and I remember that I was once like those people, growing up in a rural community where peer influence almost ruined my life and societal influence, I wake up every day going out with one message, teaching leadership development, using education, using my voice, using my passion to ignite hope and dreams in the minds of young people. This is the reason why I do what I do. I don't know if Treasure is still here, but I can't see him here anymore.
So I think I battled a little bit with my network. I don't know if you can hear me clearly now.
Yes, I can hear you now.
So sorry about the whole network issue. I've just had a bit of network challenges. I actually did a speed test, and even kind of varied my network before jumped on this call. But then, having to see the same thing happening again is actually very interesting. Okay, so we'll just get right into it, so that we don't take
Okay.
any much time. So yeah, we just get into the question one, which I think is one of the most important questions a lot of people who desire to host events. I think that's one of the most important questions to ask, right?
To ask as someone who have hosted events, right? And these are the questions that I get often from young people and from even those who have hosted before, right? So the question is before announcing anything, right? For an event to host or for you to actually decide to host an event, you get to that point where you have to make an official announcement of that event. What are the first question an event host answer to know if an event idea is worth executing? So that's the first question I would love to ask. I would love to ask you, Mr. Samuel, and I don't know what your take on this is.
Okay, thank you for that question. Quite it's just an interesting and important question. First question, before announcing any event or any detail about an event, I think that the first question any event host must answer to know if the idea is worth executing is to answer the question why. Why are
Hmm,
you
hmm,
hosting
correct.
this event? So I used to tell people that any event that does not achieve two things. Number one, information and transformation is just a decorated ceremony. Any event that does not achieve two things, information and transformation, is just a decorated, branded ceremony. All right. The first question you must answer is why. We're in a time where so many people are hosting conferences because their friends are hosting conference. So many people are hosting conferences because they see that conference is now the rave of the moment. Everybody's hosting a conference. So some people are hosting conference because they want to be popular. Some people are hosting conferences because they want to sell tickets and make money. And that's the very sad reality. Hosting events don't actually make people rich, but the ripple effect of a conference work actually does make people rich. But some people think that that's what hosting a conference is about. Some people host conferences because they want to be branded with the tag, the convener of the conference. That's a very serious um, challenge. So, what is the reason why a conference should be hosted? That's the first thing. Whether you're hosting a conference in tech, you're hosting a leadership conference, you're hosting a business conference, you're hosting a conference for women, you're hosting a conference in the health sector, first question is why? Why is this conference needed? Why is it important? And when you can answer the question why, you must arrive at two answers. Your conference must give information primarily. So anybody who is coming to speak, so this defines everything about your conference, the kinds of speakers you bring, the kind of publicity you do, because your conference must do something, give information, unusual information. Number two, it must lead to transformation. That somebody can attend your conference today and in the next 20 years, they can still remember that there was a conference I attended. So and so person spoke to me. Mr. Samuel spoke about this topic, and my life changed. In 2017, I attended a conference called Royals Conference in Owerri, organized by the Redeemed Christian Fellowship at the time. There's a man who spoke at that conference. I will never forget him. God bless him wherever he is. His name is Engineer Obawundubisi, currently in the UK. He spoke about the topic, the Reformed Man, in 2017, August 21st. At that time, I was still experiencing some crisis with my identity. I needed to go and discover my purpose so badly. So I attended that conference. And that man, Engineer Uba Unuwisi, he spoke about the topic, the reformed man. I can never forget it. When he was done speaking, I did not wait for the event to finish. I stood up. I was sitting on the fifth row in the fifth chair in the fourth row of that hall. I can never forget it. I stood up, turned back, and I went to my house and I was crying. You know, there are some speakers when they are speaking, it's as if they're talking to you. It's as if they're speaking to you. That man did that to me. When I went home, I was asking God, what was my purpose? I began to ask questions. And that's how the Samuel Isiwu people celebrate today was birthed. A man spoke in a conference in 2017, August 21 and 22. I can never forget it. Why? Conference. I'm a product of a conference that changed my life. Every convener listening to me, if you want to host a conference, why are you hosting a conference? Your motive determines the impact of whatever conference you are hosting. Why are you hosting a conference? What's the purpose? What's the motive? And listen, Your conference must do two things. It must give information and it must lead to transformation. Thank you. Treasure, have we lost you again?
Okay, so I think at this point I'm going to call my village people out officially, right? I'm going to call them out and then I'm going to because it's like they really decided to sit around their circle today to wait for me with this network. Mr. Samuel, I'm really
Mm.
very sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. The network is disrupting.
So yes, and I really sincerely apologize. So I use a router, I use a fiber, right? And usually because of when I have live sections like this,
Mm.
I try to select the most sustainable ones that can serve. I discovered that
Yes.
the router was the strongest, so I had to just connect to the router, waiting for the section. So coming to see that I was not even getting up to imagine not getting up to 1 megabyte per second.
Mm. Wow.
So sometimes MTN can just send your white even when you prepared. I can't even switch on my video if not just lag through. So I am going to ask the second question and the third question and the fourth question, and
Okay.
I would love you to just pick it up so that I don't come in and you don't stop as well. So I'm going to ask you two questions so that you can talk for the next 10 minutes, and then I'll come in again and ask the next two questions, which are the last two questions the truth is, I don't want this section to be too lengthy, right? Because I'm going to take back this video and then re-edit it so that we can have a very solid output for everyone who's going to be watching this video.
Okay. Hmm.
All right, everyone. So again, I want to sincerely apologize for this network issue that has been plagued with, right? Conventionally, my network is not like this. It's a very pathetic state that I am currently in this position, right? Because we are Nigerians, and I know there are lots of non-Nigerians also in this call, and those who are going to watch this video. I'm committed to giving you quality in all of these four-part series, right? And quality has to be, and excellence has to be delivered, right? And so, with that being said, I'm going to be speaking to Mr. Samuel after now, and we might have to do a more private recording, and we'll have to premiere this again probably before the end of this week, right? I would get back to us on the new on the group on details on when this section is going to be live on YouTube. But as it stands now, due to the network issue, and I don't want us to go back and front again, right? I'm going to stop this recording section now, and for the next time you're going to see this live, it's going to be a pre-recorded section that I and Mr. Samuel have done already. Again, and I really apologize for the the delay and the issue with the networks that this has caused. And I'm really very, very, sorry. Also apologize to Mr. Samuel for the time. Network just came at us, and it's already 42 minutes past 8. This is the exact time this section was supposed to end, and we already done for 2 minutes without achieving so much. So thank you once again. And please, you get the update again on on our emails and also on the WhatsApp group for those who are currently on the WhatsApp group. Thanks so much, Mr. Samuel. I will send you a message now, and I'm hoping to call with you to have a further conversation on this. Good night, everyone, and see you again. This video is going to be taken down, right? And we are going to record another, and then the link to that video is going to be sent to you on WhatsApp. Thank you so much, everyone, once again.